Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're cutting straight into the world of sending high-def audio and video over long distances.
Yep, and we're focusing on one specific bit of kit, the WolfPack Ultra-Small 4K 60 Hz 4.2.2 HDBaseT Extender. Quite a mouthful.
It is, yeah. So our mission today is really to unpack how you get that amazing 4K picture and even like Dolby Atmos sound way across a room or building.
Right, using just one cable. Seems almost too simple, doesn't it? We want to sort of demystify the tech jargon.
And show you the real-world benefits of this specific extender.
Exactly. And we're working from the source here, the product specs. The description from HDTV Supply gives us a really detailed picture.
Okay, let's get into it. Before we look at the WolfPack box itself, maybe we should talk about HDBaseT. That's the tech behind it, right?
Absolute fundamental, yeah. We all know standard HDMI cables are great for, connecting your Blu-ray player right next to your TV.
But stretch them out, like 15, 20 feet, maybe more.
And things start to go wrong. Flicker, dropouts, sometimes just nothing. That 4K signal is fragile over distance.
So what's HDBaseT doing differently? What's the core problem it solves?
It's exactly that distance limitation. HDMI wasn't really designed for long runs. The signals are high bandwidth. They degrade easily.
Okay.
HDBaseT steps in and basically packages that HDMI signal much more efficiently.
Yeah.
It prepares it for a journey over, well, standard network cable,
Yeah.
5E, Cat6.
Same stuff you use for your internet connection.
Pretty much, yeah, which is cheaper and easier to run than long HDMI. And crucially, it's not just video. That's the really neat part.
Right, because the spec sheet mentions it carries a whole bunch of stuff.
Everything. High-def video, obviously, multi-channel audio, Ethernet, so you get network connectivity too, control signals like your remote controls IR or RS232 for more pro setup.
And power. It carries power too.
Yep, power over Ethernet or POE, all down that single cat cable. We're talking potentially hundreds of feet.
Wow. Okay, that multi-signal thing sounds like a huge deal for actually installing this stuff.
It's a game changer, honestly. Think about planning cable runs. Instead of needing separate paths for AV, network, control, power.
You just run one cat cable.
Exactly. Way simpler. Especially you're putting it into a building that's already built. Cuts down cable mess, looks cleaner.
And probably saves money in the long run, I imagine, both for home setups and bigger commercial jobs.
Definitely. It's just a smarter way to build the AV infrastructure.
And we're not losing quality here. Sometimes when you bundle things, you worry about compromises.
That's a fair point, but HDBaseT is designed for uncompressed video. So you're getting the full signal quality. It's known for being really robust, really reliable.
Which is why the pros use it a lot.
Absolutely. In places where you just can't afford for the screen to go blank, HDBaseT is often the standard.
Okay, so HDBaseT is the powerful engine underneath. Now let's look at the specific vehicle, the WolfPack Ultra-Small 4K 60 Hz 4.2.0 HDBaseT Extender.
Right. Part number HDTV EX0101 for anyone keeping score. And the price listed, $150, seems pretty competitive. It's listed as in stock too.
And that ultra-small name isn't kidding, based on the pictures. It looks tiny.
It is. It comes as a pair, a transmitter, or TX, and a receiver, RX. Little slim boxes. Their job is to take your HDMI source, send it over that cat cable, and then turn it back into HDMI at the display end.
And the distances it can cover are pretty serious. For standard 1080p HD at 60 frames per second.
You're looking at up to 70 meters. It's about 230 feet if you use the higher spec Cat 6A or Cat 7 cable.
Which is really far, even with regular Cat 5e or Cat 6.
Still impressive. 60 meters or 220 feet. Plenty for most large rooms, auditoriums, that kind of thing.
Okay, but what about 4K? That's what everyone's keen on now.
Right. So for 4K at 60 Hz, the spec sheet mentions it uses 4.2.0 chroma subsampling, 8-bit color.
What does that mean in simple terms?
It's a way to slightly compress the color information, not the main picture detail, to make it fit down the pipe reliably over long distances. It's very common in streaming and broadcast.
And the picture still looks good.
For most video content, yeah, it looks excellent. With that 4.2.0 compression, you can get 4K 60 Hz up to 60 meters, that's 200 feet, using Cat 6A7.
Okay, 200 feet for 4K 60 Hz. That's solid. And with Cat 5.6...
Drops a bit, but still useful. 35 meters, or 115 feet.
And it also mentions 4K at 30 Hz.
Yeah, if you need the absolute full color information, like for detailed computer graphics maybe, it supports 4K 30 Hz with 4.4.4 color subsampling, which is uncompressed color.
And the distance for that.
That's 40 meters, about 130 feet on Cat 6A7, or 35 meters, 115 feet on Cat 5.6. So you've got options depending on if you prioritize refresh rate or color depth for your specific need.
That's good flexibility, and it mentions compliance too, HDCP 2.2.
Yep, essential for protected content like movies. And HDMI 1.4, data rate is 10.2 gigabits per second, pixel clock 340 megahertz. Solid specs.
Plus deep color support, 10 or 12-bit for 4K up to 16-bit for 1080p.
Right.
So rich colors, not just resolution.
Exactly. The visuals should be great, but honestly, the audio support is where this thing gets really interesting for me.
Okay. What's special there?
Well, it handles the standard stuff. PCM 7.1, Dolby True HD, DTS HD, Master Audio, all good. But the kicker, it supports Dolby Atmos and DTS:X.
Oh, wow. The immersive object-based audio formats.
Precisely. The ones that put sounds above you and around you in specific locations. Being able to send that level of audio, uncompromised, over the same single cable as your 4K video up to 200 feet away.
That's huge. Because normally, getting Atmos to work reliably over long distances can be tricky, right? Separate cables, special receiver.
Exactly. It often requires compromises or much more complex setups. This integrates it seamlessly. You don't lose that amazing immersive sound just because your gear isn't all in one place.
That's a massive selling point for home theater fans or, like, high-end media rooms.
Absolutely. But beyond the AV quality, there are these other features that just make life easier. Control and power features.
Like that PoE thing you mentioned earlier, power
Yeah.
over Ethernet.
Yeah, bi-directional PoE, or sometimes called PEP-OC, power over cable. The key thing is you only need one power supply. Just one AC adapter for the Hz system.
Wait, only one? How does that work?
You can plug the adapter into either the transmitter box or the receiver box, whichever end is more convenient for finding an outlet.
And it powers both units through the CAT cable.
That's it. Think about mounting a projector on the ceiling or a TV high on a wall. Finding power up there can be a real pain.
Oh, yeah. This avoids that completely. That's really smart.
It simplifies things dramatically. Less wiring, fewer outlets needed. Very clean. And then there's the control aspect, bi-directional IR.
So I can point my remote at the TV, and it controls the source device back in the rack, or the other way around.
Yep. Put your Blu-ray player remote at the IR sensor near your projector, and it sends the command back to the player. Super convenient.
And RS232 as well. That's more for professional control systems.
Right. It lets you integrate the system with Crestron, Control4, those kinds of automation setups. Very useful in boardrooms, lecture halls, smart homes.
Okay, and back to the physical design, ultra-small. Just how small are we talking?
The specs say 108.8 millimeters by 15 millimeter by 64.2 millimeters. That's roughly, 4.3 inches by just over half an inch thick by 2.5 inches deep.
Tiny. And lightweight, too.
Yeah, 0.18 kilos, about 0.4 pounds each. You can tuck these things away almost anywhere. Behind a TV, in the ceiling void, inside furniture. Very discreet.
And they seem built to last. The specs mention a screw-on power adapter.
A small detail, but important.
Yeah.
Stops the power cord getting accidentally yanked out, which is good for permanent installs.
But also this hostile environment stuff, what does that mean?
It means it's designed to be pretty tough. It can operate in temperatures from freezing, 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, up to 45 C or 113 F.
So not just for cozy living rooms.
Right. And it handles high humidity, up to 90% non-condensing. Plus, it has ESD protection electrostatic discharge, basically protection against static shocks.
Okay, so it's built to be reliable even in, say, a non-air-conditioned equipment closet or maybe a slightly damp area. Within reason, obviously.
Within reason, yes. But it suggests a level of robustness beyond typical consumer electronics. It's designed for potentially challenging spots.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of tech specs. Let's bring it back. What does all this actually mean for you, the listener?
Well, imagine you've got that dream home theater set up, but your projector needs to be way at the back of a big room.
Or maybe your AV gear is hidden away in a closet down the hall.
Right. Instead of struggling with expensive, potentially unreliable long HDMI cables, you run one slim, cheap Cat6 cable through the wall or ceiling.
And you get perfect 4K video and that amazing Dolby Atmos sound at the other end.
Exactly. No signal loss, no fuss. Or think about a business setting, conference rooms, digital signs in a lobby, classrooms.
Connecting displays that are far from the source computer or media player.
This technology makes those kinds of distributed AV systems much cleaner, more reliable, and often cheaper to install. It really changes how you can design these systems.
So the value proposition boils down to a few key things.
I think so. First, simplicity and cleanliness. One cable replaces a whole mess of wires. Big win for looks and maintenance.
Second, uncompromised quality. You're keeping that high-res 4K picture and the immersive Atmos or DTS:X audio over serious distances.
Third, flexibility and control. The bi-directional IR and RS232 mean you can control everything easily no matter where it is.
Fourth, the discrete installation, because they're so small.
Right, easy to hide away. And finally, robustness. Knowing it's built to handle tougher conditions gives you peace of mind.
It really is a neat package. It takes a complex problem, sending loads of high bandwidth data reliably over distance, and provides a really elegant, compact solution.
It shows how far the underlying HD-based tech has come and how well companies like WolfPack are packaging it into useful, affordable products.
Yeah, we've definitely seen how HDBaseT works as the foundation and how this WolfPack extender specifically leverages it with those extra features like Atmos support and that tiny size.
And it's interesting, isn't it, how these background technologies, these connection standards, are quietly enabling much richer, more integrated digital experiences everywhere.
You mean we focus on the big screen or the amazing sound, but we don't always think about the clever plumbing that makes it possible.
Exactly. Things like this are pushing the boundaries of what you can actually achieve in AV design, both at home and in professional spaces.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is, well, knowing about tools like this WolfPack extender might make you rethink what's possible with your own setup.
Yeah, maybe that awkward room layout isn't such a barrier anymore, or that ambitious multi-room AV project suddenly seems more feasible. The limits might be further out than you thought.
Food for thought. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.